Yes, I always had this mindset. Like I'm here to win. I'm here to fight this victory. Like this, I'm
Yeah,
always like, I'm here to do this.
yeah, yeah.
Even when people say no, you can't. No, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Amazing, and welcome back to another episode of Networking Habits. I absolutely love this podcast. It absolutely makes my day, and I'm so glad you're here. I wanted to share that I actually just released my book, Networking Habits. I'm completely thrilled about this. It's been amazing to create. In fact, the greatest thing I love about it is that it almost has like a very short the longest part of the book is the contacts list. In this book, I provided over 70 contacts for people to reach out to. And these are people that have all been to my meetings before. So if you talk to any of them, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, Ian, I've been to one of his calls. Oh yeah, Ian, I've been on there before." So, not only are you getting the book, someone came to me a while ago and they were asking me for my advice on networking. I was actually really happy he had talked with me about this. Had been networking in this way, and it was this. He would get on calls with people. He would be like, "Okay, cool. What do you do?" Da 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 da. And then he would say everything he does, and then he'd be like, "Okay, cool. Thanks. Have a good day." And that was it. That was the extent of the call. And I want to say thank you to him because he reached out to me and he told me that, and I was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Why couldn't you? Why you should have told me sooner." And the reason is this: when I network with other people, the one thing that I do is I like to build on this concept, which is known, what I like to call as a deposit. And you can use the concept or idea of its original meaning, which dates back to when people would dig for gold or silver or anything of value like diamonds. The diamonds, the silver, and the gold that they found in the mines were called deposits. They were something of value, something valuable to the person. They could sell things for it, they could buy food and clothing. Over time, this definition changed, and that's what we now refer to as bank deposits, something you actually transfer money into when you go to the bank. Now, in the business realm of entrepreneurship or business in general, there are such things as emotional deposits. And what that means is you are doing something of value for the other person. Just imagine that you found a piece of gold and you handed it to the other person. Now, that is what's known as an emotional deposit. And emotional deposits can be a little bit tricky to understand because the concept is a little vague. And when I'm saying that, what I mean is an emotional deposit can be that right contact that someone has always needed, that correct piece of advice that someone's always wanted, or simply just being there for that person when they really need it the most. Emotional deposits are more than just, "Hey, how are you?" or "I'll catch you on the next call." It's doing something that person really, really needs help with. Like a really good friend of mine named Steve reached out to me and I was asking him for advice and he told me, you should really go check out .com Secrets by Russell Brunson. And I was like, "Okay, cool. That sounds good. I'll do that." And I ended up purchasing the book and I actually just left it there for like, I don't know, like 6 months. But I remember my friend Steve mentioned Russell Brunson in this book. So I went and found this book in particular. And I picked it up and I was like, "I'm going to buy this book, but for audio. This is my Christmas present to myself." Since then, I've listened to that book for over 3 hours. It's been less than a week. And I keep re listening to all the material because I really, really need it. And one of the main reasons I need it is because I'm about to do Facebook ads. And I want to give a special thank you to Marshall because Marshall spent over an hour with me. I have an entire documented recording of him talking to me, showing me how to set up my Facebook ads to be as potentially as successful as it possibly can get. And I want to say thank you to Liz, to Manzi, and there's one person in particular that really helped me out with this because they said, "You should make two ads so that way you can do a marketing technique which will help. Sawyer Ingram, thank you for telling me to do two versions of this ad so that I can potentially get as many people as on as possible. All of those people that I just mentioned gave me deposits. And because I've been doing the same thing for enough time, I'm getting enough deposits on the same material. So when I'm saying this and I'm bringing this up, I think the really valuable point that I'm trying to make here is when you are going in a direction, try to stay fixated and focused on that direction. Don't try to get too distracted or too dispersed into too many different things because we don't even have enough time in the day to really emphasize and achieve the levels of success that we really need to do. And when I'm saying this, I'm speaking it from my book, which I talk about having the correct estimation of effort. If you don't know about this book, Making Action the Greatest Habit, it's a book that I wrote. And I really emphasize the power of goal setting. It's really like how to plan, like, don't depend on New Year's as a time frame to win and have success. Like, you should be doing that on a day to day basis. And one of the main things I focus on is having the correct estimation of effort. So it's this what is here is where most people will normally act. Time will move on and they will never go into the range that they need to in order to actually attain the goal they are setting for themselves. Alex Hormozy is a really, really good example of this because when looking at some of the goals he set for himself, he has talked about when he first got started in his business, he didn't have anyone helping him. He had to do everything himself. He ran the ads himself. He did his own filming for the content. And there's a specific post that he made that I remembered and I really, really liked because he was so tired that a good night's sleep wouldn't fix it. Like we're talking running on 5 hours of sleep over 4 hours of sleep over and over and over again. And now, while I have seen his posts really focus on getting good rest, I really respect the hustle and the grind and the emphasis it took to really get through some of those harder moments. So the reason why I'm bringing all this up is because I really want to help other people with networking as much as possible. Like, if you are trying to succeed in business and you're trying to win in the network atmosphere, I have to tell you that I basically figured it out. And I'm not just saying that from my own perception or what I think sounds good. Here's what one of these people who I have been helping said. Cool. I will start doing this. I really appreciate you taking the time to help me with advice on building a list. Really cool that you're pointing me in the right direction. Thanks, Ian. And this was from Nigel. One thing I really like about Nigel is he is taking action. Hence the book, Making Action the Greatest Habit. The stuff that I teach is not an overnight thing. He has mentioned to me before that he's like, I have to keep reaching out to people. And I'm like, yeah, dude, it's work. I'm not just giving you information that's an overnight thing. I'm talking about digging into the work, doing the time as if you're going to a job. But the thing I loved about Nigel, I was actually trying to get a hold of him the other day because I wanted to tell him some good news. And he was like, I can't talk to you right now because I'm talking to a client on the other line. And I was like, no way, that's crazy. Good job. Like, I'm glad you texted me. Like, go talk to your client. Like, that's incredible. That's exactly what I want to hear. So shout out to Nigel for making that happen. And Josie had this really awesome message that she sent me. And she said, Happy Tuesday, Ian. I truly appreciate you. Thank you for your wisdom and thoughtful insight that helps us excel in business, learning, and leadership. This journey is helping us become better within ourselves so we can be better to each other as we move forward, coming together to grow more and more. So thank you, Josie, for saying that. I really appreciate it. And this actually happened on a networking call. This is one of my favorite moments. I mean, I have a lot of favorite moments, but I really liked this moment. So I was hosting a podcast with about 8 people. And when Anna was on the call, she lives she lives up north. It's like New York and New Jersey. And Zach also does as well. And so I had both of them on the call. Neither of them knew each other, but because I was hosting a podcast, they happened to be on it. And in the podcast interview, Zach ended up talking about his coffee, and I like Zach and I like his coffee, so I mention him like on a regular basis. And in the middle of the podcast, Anna asked Zach for some of his coffee to get a sample of his coffee. And then Zach went over and dropped off some of his coffee to Anna's house like the next day or the next day after. I was so pumped on it.
This because this can help a lot of people, and that goes a long way. So, and I will definitely speak to you more for some coffee. I got you.
That's awesome.
Hey, sold without selling. There you go.
Yeah.
Whoever said it.
Yeah. No, this is great. This is amazing. I'm gonna for sure put you two in a chat. I didn't realize this would happen on this kind of call.
I love my coffee. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Davosky as well. I'm really excited for your podcast episode on Friday. And this is one of the reasons I do business. So, this is one of my favorite stories. And I didn't quite understand at the time. I want to give a shout out to Vinny because he called me and he's like, dude, if you sign up more people with me, like I will just give you money. And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, please do. And I said, I know everyone's excited about the near, but I just can't believe Vinny told me the good news. He signed up someone for his company because of one of my meetings. Something that I struggled with to attain for 12 years, Vinny did on one of my calls. He attained a sign up on one of my calls. It was incredible. Like he met up with that person and did a one-on-one call afterwards, but he met that person on one of my calls. It was it's like a relationship started and bloomed, and been having more success since then, and it absolutely makes my days. That's one of the reasons I want to help other entrepreneurs. Cheers to 2026. You guys have a great day. And I just want to share this one last story before we all take off.
Hey, so Ian, you're asking me what I think about your group. I have worked for the largest networking company in the world, helping train, hire, and start new networking groups. And so I actually go around to multiple different networking groups every week and what I call audit them. So I have a little notebook and I write down how many members, if they connected with me before the meeting, how many referrals I got, how many people wanted to come to my webinar, all these different things, how helpful the people are, the vibe, all that kind of stuff. And so I really love your guys' group, how you run it, the beginning part where we have it free for the people to check it out, and then only $1 more if they want to like have your book and stay after. And I like how many people are on every time. It's a lot of different people.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's really important when we come to a networking group that it's not the same people, because you can one-to-one with the same 20 people and then you're done. And then what? That's no good if we don't have new visitors. But I see on here, there's a lot of new people every single week. And then also people who aren't really sure what they want to do with their career. So that's kind of fun too, because it's not just us established people where we're like, we know what we're doing. It's people who are like curious about checking out a new industry. Maybe they want to be a part of what we're doing.
Mhm.
At least we can give them advice and do the like pay it forward thing. The barrier to entry is like not there, because if you want to pay $1 to get a book and stay after, if you can't spend $1, if that's not worth it to you after seeing the first hour, like I don't feel that you're serious. Because it's $1. So like that's totally worth it, right?
Mhm.
Whether you know what's gonna happen or not, that's worth investing $1 to check it out.
Mhm.
And so then right away on my first meeting that I came on here, then I signed up to do it all the time. Because I know how you're running it, and also you like implemented a couple new things that we briefly chatted about. So I'm like, cool, you're all about improving and you're always talking to other people that are like all about doing the same things, right? And being better and better, and just being like, I don't want to say the word safe space. I want to say this is a maturing space, right?
I like that.
Where we actually like say the things, do the things, help the new people, and what can I do better? All that. So love it. So happy to be here. And I'm going to be, as we get, especially towards the new year, because I have so much going on with traveling and stuff this next month. But after that, just going into full throttle, and let's invite all the people over here. So you guys, my ending part of this is happy networking. That's my catchphrase. And
Nice.
also, if you haven't yet, tell people to come here and meet the rest of us, because just come one time. Check it out. That's all you have to say. Come. You're going to meet at least 20 other people. That's all you have to say. Short and sweet. Hey, I'm going to a meeting on Monday. It's an hour. You're going to have a few minutes to talk about yourself in front of 20 people. Be ready. Let's go. Do you need the
Nice.
link? Here it is.